Deep down in a cozy burrow, under the roots of a giant fir tree, lived a little rabbit named Peter. One sunny morning, he had a brilliant idea. It was his mother's birthday. "I'm going to bake her the most wonderful surprise cake in the whole wide world," he declared. Peter wiggled his nose and got to work. First, he needed flour. He scurried to the pantry and found a big, floppy sack. With a mighty heave and a little hop, he began dragging it across the floor. It was almost bigger than he was. He tugged the heavy sack onto the stool beside a big yellow bowl. "Here we go," he puffed. But as he tipped the sack, it slipped. Poof! A giant cloud of white flour exploded everywhere, covering Peter from the tips of his ears to the fluff of his cottontail. Flopsy and Mopsy, hearing the commotion, peeked into the kitchen. They saw the little white flour ghost and covered their mouths, their shoulders shaking with giggles. "Is that you, Peter?" whispered Mopsy, trying not to laugh out loud. Unbothered, Peter shook himself like a little dog, sending more flour into the air. "Next, the eggs," he announced. Crack! Splat! He tried to tap an egg on the bowl, but it squished in his paw, dripping sticky yolk all over his whiskers and nose. "Now for the best part," Peter said. "A cake for Mother needs sweet carrots." He hopped to the vegetable bin, but it was empty. His ears drooped. Then he remembered the sweetest, crunchiest carrots in the world grew in one special place, Mr. McGregor's garden. With a determined twinkle in his eye, Peter zipped outside. Wiggle, wiggle, squeeze. He slipped under the familiar green garden gate, grabbed the biggest, brightest orange carrot he could find, and scurried right back home before anyone even saw him. Back in the kitchen, Peter grated the carrot and stirred everything together in the big yellow bowl. Splish, splosh, splat. Lumpy, bumpy, orange-speckled batter flew out of the bowl, decorating the walls, the floor, and Peter's already messy fur. He poured the lumpy batter into a cake pan, and with a mighty huff and a puff, he carefully pushed it into the warm oven. "There," he said proudly, wiping his messy paws on his messy blue jacket. "Now we wait." Soon, a very interesting smell filled the burrow. Mother Rabbit followed her nose to the kitchen. Her eyes grew wide. There was flour on the chairs, batter on the walls, and her little Peter, covered in everything, standing proudly in the middle of it all. Peter's happy smile faltered. He thought she would be cross about the mess, but then he remembered his gift. "Surprise," he said, pulling a very lopsided, bumpy, and slightly burnt on one side cake from the oven. "I made you a birthday cake, Mother." Mother Rabbit didn't see the mess. She saw her wonderful little boy, who had tried his very best to do something kind. She wrapped him in a big, warm hug, flour and all. "Oh, Peter," she said softly, "it is the most perfect cake in the entire world." So Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Mother Rabbit all sat down at the little wooden table. Mother Rabbit cut 5 big slices of the perfectly messy cake. And you know what? It was the most delicious, carrot-filled, wonderful cake they had ever tasted. After the last crumb was gone, the whole family worked together to clean the kitchen. With soap, water, and lots of bubbles, they turned the big mess into a big, bubbly, fun-filled game, laughing and splashing until the kitchen sparkled. That night, snuggled up safe and warm, Peter Rabbit learned something important. The best gifts aren't always the neatest or the prettiest. The very best gifts are the ones you make with your own 2 paws and a whole lot of love.